break from playing, but how's everyone's midterms going / grading midterms slash tests? Tests for you, Lucy?
We haven't had any like midterms or finals yet, but
Yeah.
just tests here and there.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Jennifer, how's midterm season?
I just have one, and it's tomorrow, so.
Well, thank you. Anyways. Typical measures. What about you, Olivia? You're all done.
I actually had I had 4 in the past week and a half, well, 2 weeks. I have one left that I still have to kind of submit tomorrow. Oh, actually I have another one. It's like each of my classes had like a mini assignment plus an actual legitimate midterm. So like there's little things kind of everywhere. They're still kind of going on. I think next week is going to be the first empty week though, which is nice.
Yes, good. More time for violin.
Yes.
What about you, Angie? How was your midterm?
Oh, what a nightmare. I have like a 3-day take-home midterm. You think it would be okay because it's take-home, but they expect so much more. It's crazy. It's consuming my whole life except for this.
Okay. Is that next week?
Sorry?
Is that next week?
No, it's right now. It's 3 days this weekend.
Oh, on a weekend.
I know. This is no weekend. This is like this torture. I'm sure everyone else can understand.
Oh my gosh. How's grading going for you, Sun Young?
It's okay. It's just ongoing. But maybe I should just assign less,
Yeah.
Give everyone A's for showing up. I don't know. No, I mean it's going fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I feel like December will be here like that, and then we'll have holiday break. No.
I have so much to do before then. December can wait.
At least it's not cold yet. At least. And did you guys go outside yesterday? Or for Montreal people, not California? Yeah, Lucy, you can't even understand how nice it is here right now. Although for you, you're probably finally it's not so stinking hot all the time. Lucy's in
You're in California?
Yeah, she's from my hometown.
Oh, that's
really?
so
cool. Oh, and she's actually frozen. Okay, it's okay. We'll keep going then. So Jennifer, what will you be playing for us today?
So I'll be playing the first movement of Concerto by Rieding.
Awesome. Jessica, you just killed that. Oh my gosh. So much better than last time. How did it feel?
A little bit stressed. Like my bow was a handy shake for my bow, but better than last time.
So much better. Yeah, you guys were all here last time too, right? Okay, so thoughts.
Yeah, I thought it was like a lot smoother than last time. You were much more confident with the notes too, which is great. Things you might do when you're nervous, you kind of move your mouth a bit, and I do that too, so I can relate. As Julia said, it looks like I was eating my violin, so I was doing it more than you, but you kind of moved. I was like, I don't want to look like I'm eating my violin. But you're not that bad. You just kind of move your lips a bit, so I don't know if that it creates tension. It might create tension in your jaw a bit, but I don't know really. Julia might be able to elaborate on that.
That's some really good feedback. Lucy, what about you?
I think we could all definitely tell that you were a lot more confident in what you were playing. You weren't like shaking at all. All the notes were like really smooth, and you were in tune, and your intonation was good. So, good job.
Yeah, great work.
Thank you.
Olivia.
I think in comparison to last time, like so much more confident, so smooth, and even like I really like the pauses in between the themes. It gave time to kind of just like absorb the theme and then kind of move on to the next one. It was really awesome. Things that you do when you're nervous. I noticed swaying, like swaying in time. I do the same thing, and it's like what keeps me in time as well. But like we're not supposed to do that in theory, but that's all I noticed. But it was really, really good, really awesome.
Sonia.
Yeah, everyone said, touched upon so many great points. I can only agree with them. And also your left hand was so much more relaxed than last time. I think last time I said you tend to do this, but I didn't see that at all. So I think I was focusing so much on your left hand, I didn't see the mouth moving. So it's great. Yeah.
That's why it's good to have a bunch of us watching. But yeah, Jennifer, like awesome work on this. Like really, and I this could go for anyone else who was playing their piece for a second time, but I think with you we really were able to see so much progress, which kind of shows the importance of multiple performances of something. Because if last time had been your only performance of, let's say it was a recital, I don't think you would have been that happy with, you know, like, okay, that's what happened, and like, you know, that's enough to kind of get you off of violin sometimes when you have a performance that's not up to your standard. So I'm really, really glad that you kind of went along with playing it a second time. That takes a lot of courage, and you did a lot of good work on it. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the intonation at the end was much, much better, the tuning. Because last time when you had gotten off a little bit, it started to get sharper and sharper, and that's something that we really, really worked on the last couple of weeks, and you did it. So really, really good job. And as far as the swaying, I noticed that too, and I think you have a lot of you're very musical when you in your way of playing, and I think you really feel the music, and you're showing that, but it ends up being with every bow change, like every 2 beats, and it kind of it gives the phrasing, it will cut it a little bit into shorter phrases. So instead of thinking da, 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 think longer phrases. I think all the way up to 4 measures. We haven't talked about this so much, and that's probably will be our next step with this as we're getting ready to record. But I think that's all I have to say about that. We'll continue kind of finishing up the finishing touches on this, but otherwise really, really good job playing this again. I was glad you got a second try at it. So thank you. Okay, let's finish up with Olivia. So what is your project this time?
So this time the project is, so it's a fiddle piece, and it's an arrangement that I had written out, I wrote out for a piece called Nathaniel Gow's Lament for the Death of His Brother. This piece is actually played faster too, and it's called the Gallo Glass. So there's 2 versions of it, but I'm playing the slower version of it. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna put ornaments yet. I haven't decided. I may during this performance, I may not. Depends when I start playing the first note. We will see. But yeah.
All right.
Ooh, hold on a second.
Hey,
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very
that
nice,
was
Olivia.
beautiful.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. And it's fairly fresh too, right? Like it's only been a couple weeks on this one.
Probably like a week.
A week, yeah. Very, very good. So this is a little bit different since it's not a classical piece, but I would still love to get feedback just as, yeah, well, I mean, Olivia, I'll let you speak. Is there anything in particular about the arrangement that you'd like feedback on as well?
I would like to know, did it feel like you were listening to the same thing too often? Because like both parts repeated themselves. So let's say in the first part, like, would you like to hear like a basic first repeat and then the second repeat, do it a little bit more with ornaments and stuff like that, or like have ornaments right off the bat? Like the ornaments are like the little like drum drum.
Can you maybe show, because I don't know if everyone is that familiar with Irish music, so could you maybe just play the very beginning, like A section with a bunch of ornaments so that we can get an idea of what you're talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Yeah. So stuff like that, pretty much. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I personally like it just without ornament at first, you know, and then maybe started, I think I would say played piano, and then later on, I think by playing with the dynamics and adding a few ornaments and then variations for the third one, I think it would be really interesting. It sounded good already, but yeah.
Thank you. That actually helps.
Are there anyone else?
It sounded really good, and sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
It sounded really good, and I didn't see anything on your face, so good poker face too.
Mm-hmm. Angie.
Oh no, I lost my thought. Oh, actually, I was going to say the opposite of Sun Young. I thought it should start forte and then go piano. Which I thought, controversy.
Like it.
But it's up to Olivia in the end. So I was just going to say in general, maybe a dynamic change and adding more ornaments as you go along, which is very, very nice. And what else was I going to say? Things you do when you're nervous. I don't know, maybe there was a bit of tension in your left hand, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be making this up. It's kind of hard to see on my iPad.
It's like tension, tension that's like constantly there.
I know, same. But I mean, I think there was a bit more maybe than norm if you normally play it normally, not in front of people. Mm-hmm. So it sounded very nice though. It was beautiful.
Yeah. What about you, Lucy?
I thought it was really pretty. I do think the ornaments add a lot. So yeah, maybe doing that later on in the piece. I did notice you were swaying a little bit, like from side to side, but I don't know if that's a bad thing necessarily. But yeah.
Yeah, to go off of that, Lucy, I agree. I think it felt very effortless, the way you play this kind of music, and I can tell it's very close to your heart as well, that you really enjoy to play it. And for me, the swing, I don't think it was distracting, and I don't think it was kind of, maybe it was involuntary, but I think it worked. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it just kind of transported me to like Irish countryside, and it's a very haunting melody, actually. Do you know anything about the background of the tune or the history of it?
Well, so apparently the composer of this piece composed a lot of pieces, and they were always very haunting pieces, and they were always like the lament of the death of his second wife and the death of his son. Every time someone in his family died, he wrote something. And he wrote 46 pieces, and they're all equally as haunting. But it's actually a Scottish piece and not an Irish piece, and which is interesting. So I may change the ornaments to make them sound a little bit more like Scottish ornaments and check into that. But that being said, it's very much like that's kind of it. That's the composer, and he's a spooky dude.
Okay, like huge brownie points for knowing the history of the that's awesome that you know like how many tunes he wrote and everything. But
I stumbled upon it randomly as I was doing my research.
Yeah, but that's good. I'm glad you are researching. I think in classical we should be always doing that as well. So I'll comment about first the playing and then the arrangement. But I think as far as when you're playing, it felt very relaxed. For me, it was more the beginning and kind of getting your bearings. It took you a little while to get into the zone. So I think the next step will be getting there faster. And again, I know this is fresh, so I don't know how much time you've had to practice the performance of it at home, but yeah, what was going through your head as you were getting started?
Honestly, it was like I was looking at the sheet music and I was like, I don't remember what the beginning of this sounds like, but like I knew, and like I've been humming it in my head for the past week. So I think like the nerves of performing it, like the entire piece just went by out of my head. So like I think just even like playing it through once, I think like you're not supposed to, but playing it through once before performing it, or at least like just the main melody helps, like, or at least the beginning, because that once I have the beginning, I could kind of just go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to maybe clarify this because I've said this to probably a lot of you guys, that if you got a performance, it's not a great idea to run through your piece before. But to clarify, it's not a good idea to run through your very fast, hard piece at tempo right before you perform. And the reason for that is comes from experience, is if you do that and your practice run through doesn't go so well, you're gonna be really stressed. If it goes well, that's fine, but like it can tire you out, especially if it's a longer piece. And I mean, that, take it with a grain of salt, do whatever feels right for you. But I think if it's a slower thing like this, it's okay. You know, it's not the hardest thing that you're playing. And maybe well, when I'm practicing or for a performance, I'll do things in chunks. So like maybe I'll do the beginning at tempo, but like 2 bars, just not enough to kind of mess up or get in my head. But yeah, I think just practicing putting the violin down, doing something that, you know, take a midterm and then start it and all that stuff. But I haven't heard you do that in the past before, but I think it's it makes for a more powerful performance if you really kind of can start without practicing notes before, or tuning, or any of the things that we do to kind of give us confidence that the bow is going to move correctly. But yeah, and as far as the arrangement, I think this will, and we've talked about this a little bit, but it will come with the context of what you're going to do with the final other parts. So what I think you should do, as because for the rest of you, we're getting ready to record this, and Olivia is going to write some other violin parts as well to make like a chamber arrangement. I'm not sure exactly how you call it, but so yeah, that's going to be really cool to listen to. But I think you should maybe play through it more simply like you are here, and then write the rest of the tunes or the parts around that, and then see kind of where that direction is going, and then go back and re-record the melody based on, you know, kind of vibe that you're going through. You can also totally do the opposite and write the whole melody out exactly how you want it and follow the harmonies, but I think it's helpful to kind of pick the direction first and then to move back, because as we noticed, we've got, or as we saw today, we've got like a whole bunch of different ways this can go if we get everyone's suggestions. But yeah, what do you think your next kind of writing is going to be for this?
I think what I'm gonna do next, like I started kind of thinking about it, and I realized that like I need to kind of have it in my head. So like as I'm like I sing, like I'll hum it in my head a lot, and then as I hum it in my head, like I already kind of like invent harmonies to go with it, or like accompaniment to go with it, but like I need to kind of just like sit on it and like let it stew, and then once it's there, then it's gonna like I'll write it out. It's in the process. I already have like a bit of it down. There's some like, once again, like I kind of just have to think about like what I want it to sound like as well, and how limited we are with just playing the violin on top of it. But yeah, like obviously it's a lot easier to be like, well, I'm gonna have a bass part with a cello, but I don't have a cello. So like how much bass part can I add with the violin, and what kind of accompaniment, what kind of vibe do I want it to come out of this?
Mm-hmm. But I think it's actually really interesting being limited this way, especially with the quarantine and stuff. Like you only have yourself and your violin and your laptop, and putting those limits are gonna force you to be really creative to come up, because you can do a lot with violin. We're lucky that, you know, it's such a good instrument for variation. But yeah, it won't go as low as a bass, and you can't play too many voices at once. So I'm excited to see what you come up with. And for the rest of you, I'm happy that you play this, Olivia, because we had maybe touched on a little bit at the beginning of the year of this arrangement project / recording project. And I will check in with you guys this week if anyone is interested in also kind of putting something together similar to this, that's either, you know, a composition or an arrangement, or just anything that's a little bit off the beaten path of just, you know, classical violin. But yeah, I think we'll end there for today though. But really, really awesome playing this week. Like I was super happy with how everyone has been working and performing. Yeah. What are your guys' like end of weekend plans?
Reading.
Midterm.
No, but my students are good, so I don't mind. Yeah, and taking a walk and practicing violin. But yeah, thank you. It was really great to hear how what everyone has done with the pieces, honestly, like to see the progression and the progress. Yeah.
it's very motivating for me too. Like when I see you guys improve, and I know that you guys are all very busy, at least, you know, students and working. So like for me, it motivates me to practice. I'm like, you know, they're working hard, I need to work hard too. But cool, guys. I think we'll stop there for today. Thank you so much for playing, and I'll see you this week. All right.
Bye.
Thank you.